divorce recovery and stuff. It helps like with the people who are in that niche solve
Yeah,
their problems basically.
it's a competitor. That's a competitor. And
Okay.
they have a slightly different business model than your particular person, but they're still getting attention inside of that niche. And however they're getting attention is successful, right? They might not even be good at monetizing it. But if they're good at getting attention and you're trying to help somebody down here that's good at monetizing it but isn't good at getting attention, you can just help them steal the things that this other person is using, right? Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
competitor. It's just a slightly different, it's a different business model. They have the same problem. They're fighting over the same people. They're dealing with the same problem, have the same desires. They just have a slightly different business model for helping them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, of course you can analyze them. You can analyze them for everything on there, of course. If they're being
Okay.
successful at something, either getting attention or monetizing attention, there's a lesson to be learned. They have connected well with the target market at either getting their attention and or monetizing it. You need to figure out why that connection exists, what they did to match up with that, and steal that. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay. And my second question is for warm outreach, I have some family members that I would like to work with, and they know I have a business they know that I know they have a business, so I don't want to reach out to them saying like, "Oh, if they have other friends that potentially has a business," because they would know in their mind that I already know that they have a business. So, is there a way we can also approach them without like
I want
saying
you to
if
use the friends line even if you know they have a business. And it does two
okay.
things. One, they'll give you, and I mentioned this in the video. I'm pretty darn sure I remember mentioning this. One, they will probably refer some of their friends to, but most likely what they're going to do is say, actually, can you help me? It makes it indirect. So you can directly say, hey, I want to help you. I really want to do, but usually you'll get a slightly better result if you say, hey, do you have any friends? They'll still opt in. They'll still say, hey, help me, but it's going to feel a lot less, they're going to feel a lot less pressure to say yes or no. And when the pressure's down on this type of thing, it usually works a lot better.
Okay. And just last note is I do kind of have the same problem with Alan, what he spoke about like teasing and stuff. So like in the cold
I'm not going to,
outreach
I
email.
already said I wouldn't dive into that any more in depth that I have.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Ask me somewhere else, a different time. All right, let's do a couple more. SoCo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
What do you got,
So
man?
I recently joined the real world and I got a client through the warm outreach method.
Awesome.
But they are in the food truck business. So
Okay.
I'm still going through the beginner boot camp, but I'm not really
Okay.
sure how I should be doing copy for like a food truck business or a business in a food industry.
So I'm going to tell you to go through this process to analyze what they're currently doing to get attention and notice if they have any problems. Like, do they have a follow? Do they have any followers? Do they have reviews? Identify the main problems they have. You've probably done some of this with them. But the
Right.
other part of it is going to be finding top competitors and stealing their ideas. And there's a
Okay.
whole video walkthrough training where I show you how to steal ideas from top competitors.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you to watch. And you'll be able to see, oh, this food truck is really successful, does this strategy, that strategy, this strategy. I'm going to borrow that. So, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Hassan, what do you have?
Hi, Professor. How's it going?
Going well. What's your question, dude?
Okay, so I just have a niche specific question. So I was working for the
Is
last
it
week in the
about how to
fitness.
analyze and find their problems?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good.
So I've been working in the life coach niche for the week, and what I found out is that many of the people that are working over there, they're very good at uh, getting attention when it comes to like posting random stuff about life in general. But when it comes to actually telling about their services or something like that, that's where they lose the attention. So is there a way like to tackle those sort of things and how to provide a solution in that sorts?
Have you looked at top players who are actually good at getting people to go from their attention and talking about general life stuff over to the actual products? Have you found top players doing that successfully?
Yes, I have. And
Okay.
the
What are they
thing
doing
that they
differently?
do is that they redirect that traffic.
Can you say that again? It kind of cut out.
I'm sorry. So they're very good at redirecting that traffic.
How?
And I
What are they
think
doing
that is
specifically
what
different?
my
What are they
prospects.
doing good at? How are they redirecting that
They're
traffic?
using, so when they post a reel or something like that on social media, they always have a
Yeah.
call to action attached with it, and it's
Bingo.
directly to their VSL.
Okay. So that's what I would take to my prospects as the idea. Hey, Because if they're not doing that, then they should probably just do that because they know it's working.
Yeah.
So you would show up and position yourself as the guy who can help them do that.
Okay. And another thing I wanted to ask was that when providing them with teas and something like that, a free value basically, do we go on with it? Is it a good thing to say that this is the thing that's working for the other players that are working in the niche? Or does that seem off-putting or something like that?
Why would it be bad? Why would that be a problem?
Okay.
Because you're making a claim. Hey, I think this strategy is going to help your business grow and help you move to mega success. It's a claim. And people like to believe claims that are backed up with some level of credibility. And if you don't have any individual credibility, you need to steal or borrow that credibility from somewhere else. You might as well borrow from someone they probably know and know is doing a better job than them. Hey, I stole the strategy from your top competitor. It's guaranteed to work. It's a lot better than, hey, dude, I have an idea. I'm some random guy that's emailed you today. No, like, hey, I'm stealing this from your competitor for you. I snuck into his camp, stole his treasure and his battle plan, and here it is. Do you want it? Right? Like, they don't really care who you are. They want to see the plan now. They want to work with it. So, yeah, of course.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Professor.
Awesome. All right, let's do 2 more. So let's do, and I'll upload this recording for everybody, obviously. So Sivali Chowdhury, I butchered your name, dude. What's your name and what's your question?
You can just call me Shiv.
Shiv, I can do that. That works. Thank you. What's your question, dude?
First, I just want to say awesome training, by the way. It gave me tons of ideas on like what to look for when diagnosing. And the question I had was, so let's say we're reaching out to someone. Oh, actually, you know how you were mentioning the best way to solve an issue is either with the machine or with copywriting, right?
Yeah, well, whatever solution you suggest them is going to have both of those. Yes.
Right. So if we notice their biggest issue at that, the way to solve it is by using a new machine because they're not doing something to address it. Would that be something as a little too large to start off with by saying, hey, you know what, you should start off by doing this entirely new thing? And
there's always a way to make it small, to make testing it really, really small. So yeah, you don't say, hey man, I want you to record a whole bunch of YouTube videos because you don't have a YouTube page and that's where everyone's at. So you need to record like, I don't know, 30 hours of content in the next 2 days. Like you don't want to do that, right? I think that's too much. You say, hey, this channel is a really effective way to get attention. Your target market's there. It looks like you've tried. It hasn't been very successful or you haven't done anything there. I have some ideas to repurpose some of your other content and I can create a test version of this and we can launch that on your thing. It's not going to require any time or effort from you, basically. You can make it small. Yeah, whenever you have to make a completely new thing, hey, let's launch TikTok ads. If you can take as much of that as possible and show them how you start really, really small with it in a low-risk way, it's not going to require a bunch of time and energy from them, that's the best way to then take steps towards adding on that big, giant new part of their marketing machine. Yeah, just make it small. Small first step.
Cool. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Hassan, what do you got? The other Hassan.
So, whenever we look at a business, how do we look at their products or services or courses and see like if it's converting, how well they're selling or how well they're converting? Like,
yeah, I got a slide for that. Let me show you. So, one moment. Gotta get through all these slides. We got a lot of them. Make all those arrows work and awesome. So, you look at a couple of things. You look at the copywriting quality on that page. You can tell if a page is going to be successful or not successful based on how well they do copy. If it's terrible copy and it's ugly, confusing, and boring, there's a chance it's not converting. You're not going to know the actual conversion percentage unless you are the business. You won't know that until the call, but you can usually tell if a page will probably convert or not. So looking at the copywriting quality is one. The other thing is you want to look at these other 3 elements. Do they have a bunch of testimonials on the page? If they don't, that doesn't mean that it's a bad product. That doesn't mean that it's not converting. It just, if it does have a lot of testimonials, that means that is a positive indicator to let you know, yes, this is working. People have purchased this. If they don't show all their testimonials, that doesn't mean that it's still not a super popular product. But if you do see it there, you do know that it's successful. You want to know if the visual design is good in conjunction with the copywriting quality. And if you can see people who are gushing about how great the product is, it's usually an indicator that a lot of people have purchased the product and that it's actually resonating with their desires. So you won't know the absolute number of how many people are converting, but you can look at some indicators.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we've. I feel like doing a few more. I said I would only do a few more, but let's do a few more times. Let's do 2 more, and then we're gonna wrap this one up so the recording isn't too long. Mr. Liam, what do you got? What's your question?
Hello, Andrew. I landed a warm outreach client. His website kind of sucks, like mobile.
Yeah.
So, should I go out, learn website design, make him a sample website, and put all his products on it, so I can like boost his conversion rate? It's at 0.22.
Yeah. That's your question. Is like, should you learn a little bit of web design and put together a page for him? Yes. I'm going to let you guys know. And that's probably what my next little training is going to be about, because so many people ask about web design and stuff. It's stupid easy. Like, it's crazy, crazy easy. If you go to any of the resources I've linked to in the past inside of the campus, you can create pages using AI and templates. Like, they've made it extremely easy for you to create a simple page. You just can do, and you can do the same thing. You can look at top players and what their page looks like, what their design's like, and just copy it almost exactly over to your guy. It's pretty easy. And if that's what he needs, if that's the part of his machine that is keeping him from reaching mega success, then yes, you need to find the way to be the guy who could solve that problem for him. Either that means you do it, or you partner with another real world student who's already good at it, et cetera, et cetera. You find a way to deliver the solution he needs. Yes. Yeah, ChatGPT is easy. All right, let's do Mustafa, and then let's probably wrap it up. Mustafa, what do you got? What's your question?
Andrew, so before you were talking about followers, so I saw a client that had I could tell they had 500,000 followers on Instagram, and I knew it was bots because all their posts only had at least 15 likes or maybe even 20. So I emailed them, and they said, well, of course they said no, because I sent a newsletter about it, which is stupid.
Nice, classic.
Yeah. And I'm about to send them another one. Should I just go harsh on them and tell them that you basically have bought your it's skincare, your creams are overpriced. You shouldn't be like, you maybe fix your website, or should I just go like a little slow on them right now?
So when you're showing up to talk to a business, and it's kind of beyond this, again, if you just go in there and say, hey, here are all the problems you have and you're terrible, do you want to work with me? That usually isn't that great of a strategy. It really isn't. Usually it's better to find the critical piece. There's always one problem that is the biggest problem keeping them from mega success. It's like, okay, there's something about their, the way they're getting attention that's not working. You should show up and say, hey man, I have an idea to help you get more humans interacting on your Instagram page. Or I get more people from your Instagram to actually interact and land on your website. Or, hey, I found out a way to change some of the messaging and design on this sales page to justify the super. Okay, that's it. Bro, if you're not actively talking, let's go ahead and just mute everybody. Bro. Where is it at? There we go. But yeah, dude, you need to just go ahead and find one specific thing that you can recommend. Usually if you just dump on them and tell them they're stupid, that's not a really good way to start the conversation. You want to find one key thing, focus your outreach about that. They usually don't have time to read about 8 different things on their website. Just pick one thing that's their biggest weakness and provide a solution for it. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, this has been good. I'm going to make sure this is uploaded. You guys can get access to this entire training. I'm going to make sure that the PDF slides for this is created. I might add some new slides, but this can be like basically your checklist. You can have this beside you, go through it as you're analyzing businesses, find things from them. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that you have access to all this. If you have questions about this as you go through it, ask me, ask the captains. I'm going to make sure this whole process is as dialed in as possible. Probably in a week or so, I'll bake this into the actual bootcamp itself to make this a lot easier for people. But this should give you guys the tools to basically sit down, analyze any business ever, find specific ways you can help them grow their profits and show up in a really intelligent manner. Now it's up to you to be creative, and it's up to you to actually write good copy. So guys, good talking with you guys. Let's go out. Let's get it. Let's conquer it.